Hello, my name is Freya and this is your Essex, the Essex County Council podcast bringing you stories from around the county. Earlier this year I visited a school in Harlow to learn all about the Levelling Up funded programmes that are part of Harlow Futures. If you're watching, then you're about to see a section of one of the sessions within My Happy Mind, which is a song teaching young people breathing exercises. If you're on Spotify, don't worry, you can still hear the song, but you are missing out on some very funky cartoons dancing. Take it away, guys.
Everyone breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is your favourite thing about the My Happy Mind work?
The happy breathing.
The happy
Mine was
breathing?
the song.
Songs? Is that the beginning song?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what do you like about the song?
That it has a nice tune and stuff.
Yeah? And what do you guys like about the breathing?
That we do it calmly. And you're just basically thinking that you're in a bubble, breathing that red, your favourite colours.
And so when you've done the breathing, how does that make you feel afterwards?
Calm.
Calm? Yeah? Do you feel calm afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah. And since doing My Happy Mind, you're doing it for 4 weeks now, I think?
3.
Yeah? 3 weeks? I apologise. What's been the one thing that you've learned? I know you've probably learnt loads, but what's the one standout thing?
The team hap. And also how the amygdala takes over.
Do you want to talk a bit about that? How does your amygdala take over?
He just panics and tells the others to just sit down and goes to sleep. And then you have to wake the amygdala, calm it down, and that's how you wake the others up when you're in danger or something.
Perfect. And what is it that you two, your number one thing that you've learned so far?
I think the prefrontal cortex.
And tell me about that.
It helps you to decide stuff. So if you're choosing which team to be on or who to help, if you're finished stuff and other people are struggling, that's pretty much it for me.
So it's like your decision maker, yeah, and you like learning about that, yeah. And how about you? What's your favourite? You could like all of it, yeah. And what has doing this made you feel? Do you feel calmer? Yeah. And do you feel like when you're in a situation that you think, oh, I feel really worried, you think, oh, what would my amygdala need? Does he need to be calmed down? Do you think that? Yeah. And what about you guys? Do you?
We actually we like the bits in our head that are team hap. Like precision, your memories and keeping you safe. That's literally what they're all about. And that's really what I like about them.
Perfect. That was spot. Up next, we spoke to some older students who in their session today were learning skills for when they feel angry or stressed. So, did you enjoy what you just did in the other room with the breathing exercises?
Yes.
Yeah? What did you like about it?
It was calm.
Yeah? Right, you man. Calm?
It makes me really calm. It makes you kind of tired at the same time.
Yeah. And what other stuff have you been doing for My Happy Mind? Have you been doing the journals?
We've done about the 3 parts of your mind, the amygdala, I forgot the middle one. Hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex.
Yeah. And do you like not just learning the feelings, but learning sort of the science as well?
Yes.
Yeah? Does it make it, Sir today was talking about scenarios where you might feel a bit stressed and how to work through it. So does doing exercises like that, does it help you when you're out on the football field or watching the football and annoyed?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? And what would you say is rephrase that. Do you feel like since starting a couple weeks ago that you feel a bit calmer?
Yeah. Because the happy mind journal, when you like upset or something, you can read it and then it will help you like find out what to do when you're upset or something.
Perfect. And do you guys read the journal too when you're feeling a bit upset? Yeah? Yeah, perfect. And if there's one thing that you've learned so far, if you had to remember one thing out of everything, what is it that you would remember?
It's like you can just stay calm, like 5 deep breaths when you're really angry or furious at something.
Yeah. What would be yours? I also managed to grab a quick sit down with 2 of the teachers who have been running the My Happy Mind sessions to hear about the impact that they've seen in their classrooms. So what's one thing that you feel the students have really learned since doing this?
I've been amazed by how the children have really engaged with the different parts of their brain and like being able to relate. So we do a lot on like the amygdala and how it can take over, and they really have grasped the idea that when your amygdala is in charge, the other parts of your brain go to sleep or aren't engaged, so that you can't make the decisions that maybe you can do when you're thinking a little bit more clearly or rationally. So like I can see even in our lessons, not quite completely in the playground yet, because obviously they're a bit excited, but we can see that they can use the language to understand, oh, I know why my brain is maybe it's my brain, it's not me, there's nothing wrong with me, it's the way my brain is wired, and I can't make those decisions because my prefrontal cortex is asleep. And they've really learned, they've really engaged with the vocabulary, which with 6 and 7 year olds, I've been really impressed with how they've actually grasped onto that. So that's like the biggest thing, is that giving them the tools to actually explain and have the vocabulary to understand how they're feeling. So that's been really nice.
And do you find that they're calmer in the lessons, or when they have a moment of high stress, they'll go, oh, my amygdala's playing up again?
I think because we're very early, they're not necessarily doing it independently yet, but because I can use it as a reference point, I can say, you're in a bit, you seem a little bit stressed, have your parts of your brain maybe fallen asleep, is your amygdala in charge, like what can we do? So we're at a point where it's actually really nice to do it so young with them, is that by the time they get older they'll be able to do it themselves, we hope. So they're not quite independent with it yet,
but they're aware
but you can use it as a reference, and then they can go, oh yeah, because then it's like, oh, do you remember when we talked about, oh yeah, and then it also gives them that chance to like re-go over it themselves. So the vocabulary is there that we can reference, so that they can kind of start going, oh yeah, that's what it is.
And like they remember the Battle of 1066, and they also remember that when they're feeling stressed, it's because parts of their brain.
It's one of those things, where it's like, it's part of like their schooling now, is to like learn how we deal with that. So it's like, oh, we'll do our maths lesson, but we're also going to learn how we look after ourselves and how we can look after our brain, and that will then help us to do better. So I think they do see it as like a proper, they see it as like a lesson. So it's not just like this is like, I don't have to worry, I can just have a little chat. They actually do see it as like, oh, I'm learning something, which is really nice. So that's good.
What impact have you seen on the students since doing this course?
So yeah, impact on the children so far is it's very much helped children recognise where they are in terms of emotionally, when they might need assistance, when they might feel themselves fight, flight or freeze, and sort of taking the next steps from there.
Perfect. And what's one thing that you have taken away from doing these?
I think actually realising that you can come at it from quite a psychological, quite scientific stance, and actually it's not too much information for the children, and actually there's no point in trying to dumb something down, trying to put it in terms that they may understand. Put it in the terms that it is, and they will understand it from there. I think My Happy Mind does a really good job at sort of the pastoral colours, the music, the videos, really sort of putting it in a way that's manageable for the children.
Perfect.